The last frontier of the world, the Arctic. The Arctic is one of the quietest yet most powerful regions on Earth. Here, silence is not born of peace, but of the extreme limits of life. The wind travels for kilometers across endless fields of ice without meeting a single obstacle. It sounds sharp and cold like a blade. The sun may not rise for months, or it may not set for months. Temperatures fall far below what the human body can endure. -40, -50 degrees are considered ordinary. To exist in this land is to face one of nature's harshest trials. The Arctic is not only cold. The Arctic is uncertainty. The ice can break at any moment. The sea can rise from beneath and swallow everything. The sky can suddenly darken with storms. Nothing is stable. Life here continues on a constantly shifting ground. That is why the Arctic is not a world for ordinary creatures, but a realm that only the strongest can survive. And at the very top of this world stands a silent ruler. The name of that ruler is the polar bear. When you see it, the first feeling you experience is awe. Because before you stands not merely a large animal, but the physical embodiment of this hostile land. With its strength, patience, silence, and determination, it represents the will of nature upon the ice. The polar bear does not merely survive in this land. It rules it, a world shaped by ice. For millions of years, the Arctic has been the planet's climate engine. When the world warms, this region cools it. When the world cools, its glaciers expand. The sea ice here acts like enormous mirrors reflecting the sun's rays back into space. When this system breaks down, not only the Arctic, but the entire world is affected. Yet within this immense system, survival is an individual struggle. Food is scarce, shelter is limited, and every mistake is fatal. For this reason, every creature that lives here has, over time, become one of nature's most perfect survival machines. And the polar bear has emerged at the very peak of this long evolutionary struggle. Where time began, the ice ages. About 500,000 years ago, the world was far colder than it is today. Massive ice sheets covered much of the northern hemisphere. Sea levels were lower, and the continents had not yet fully taken their present shapes. During this time, brown bears living in northern Eurasia were forced to confront changing climate conditions. As prey on land became scarce, some of these bears gradually moved toward the coastlines. There, a new world awaited them, the sea. At first, this world was foreign. Salt water, moving ice floes, unfamiliar prey, but hunger is a powerful teacher. Across generations, this brutal process of adaptation slowly transformed these bears. They learned to feed on marine mammals. Their swimming abilities improved. Their body structures changed. Their fur, fat layers, metabolism, and even their instincts were reshaped. This transformation took hundreds of thousands of years. And in the end, a species unlike any other on Earth emerged. Ursus maritimus, the bear of the sea, nature's silent architect. The polar bear is not merely an evolutionary success. It is one of nature's silent architects. The balance of the Arctic ecosystem depends directly on its presence. Without the polar bear, life in this region could not exist in its current form. But this story is not only the story of one species. This story is the story of the planet's balance. Because the fate of the polar bear is the fate of the Arctic. And the fate of the Arctic is the future of the entire world. The engineering of cold. The body of the polar bear. Surviving in the Arctic is not only a matter of strength. What truly makes the difference is adaptation. In this sense, the polar bear is one of nature's most perfect designs. Its body is the result of millions of years of struggle between evolution and Arctic conditions. Every cell, every bone, every muscle, every vein has been shaped for this land. When you look closely at a polar bear, you see far more than an ordinary mammal. It is a living survival machine. The fat layer, a shield of life. Beneath the polar bear's skin lies a fat layer approximately 8 to 12 centimeters thick. This layer is not only thermal insulation. It is also a massive energy reserve. Thanks to this fat, the bear can survive for weeks, and in some periods even months, without eating. This fat tissue is the most effective armor against the Arctic's lethal cold. Even at -50 degrees, the bear's body temperature remains stable. The cold cannot penetrate this layer. The freezing effect of seawater becomes powerless against this natural shield. The fur system, invisible armor. Contrary to appearance, the polar bear's fur is not white. Each hair is hollow and transparent. This structure allows sunlight to pass through and reach the skin. The skin itself is black. Black skin absorbs incoming light at maximum efficiency. In this way, the bear extracts the highest possible benefit from limited solar energy. This system also provides perfect camouflage. On the ice, the bear becomes nearly invisible. Its prey cannot detect it, while the bear observes its surroundings with absolute precision. Muscle structure and skeleton. The polar bear's muscles are designed for explosive power. It can accelerate rapidly and deliver tremendous force in a short time. During an attack, it can apply tons of pressure. Its skeletal structure is both strong and light, allowing it to move across the ice without sinking despite its massive size. Its paws are wide, functioning like snowshoes. They also serve as paddles when swimming. Its claws are powerful. They can break ice and seize prey in a single motion. Metabolism, the art of energy. The polar bear's metabolism is extraordinarily efficient. Its body produces maximum energy from fat, allowing it to endure long periods of starvation. When necessary, its heart rate and energy consumption can slow dramatically. This feature is vital during prolonged waiting and hunting periods. Sensory adaptation. The polar bear's eyes function perfectly in both darkness and blinding reflection. Its eyes possess a special filtering system that protects against the snow's intense glare. Its ears are small and rounded, reducing heat loss. Its nose functions like a radar. It can detect the scent of a seal from up to 30 kilometers away. Nature's greatest design. When all these features come together, the polar bear becomes more than an animal. It becomes nature's greatest masterpiece built for the Arctic. Every detail is a solution developed against the brutality of this world. And now, this body stands before a far greater trial. The hunter of patience and intelligence. Hunting in the Arctic is not merely a matter of strength. What determines success is patience, intelligence, and the ability to read nature. The polar bear is the perfect fusion of these three qualities. When choosing a hunting ground, the bear considers wind direction, ice thickness, ocean currents, and seal migration routes. Sometimes it travels for kilometers to find the right location. Then begins the waiting. For hours, sometimes for an entire day, a seal approaches a small breathing hole in the ice. The bear knows this. It has experienced this countless times. It knows the hours the seal will come, how long it will remain, and from which direction it will surface. And when the moment arrives, the bear moves like a shadow. One strike, one closing of the jaws, and life ends. This process is the brutal but inevitable reality of survival in the Arctic. The polar bear does not rely solely on ambush. It swims along ice edges to approach seals from below. It tracks prey across open water. It uses drifting ice floes to conceal itself. Nature is a vast chessboard to the bear, and every move is calculated. Motherhood, the continuation of the species, and the balance of the ecosystem. The most difficult period in a female polar bear's life is pregnancy. In late autumn, she digs a den beneath the snow. She remains inside for months. She does not eat. She survives solely on her stored fat. When the cubs are born, they are no larger than the palm of a hand. They are blind. They are helpless. The mother keeps them alive with the warmth of her body. When they emerge in spring, the true education begins. Swimming, hunting, navigating across ice.
Recognizing danger.
This training lasts about 2 years. When the cubs finally leave their mother, they are prepared to face the Arctic's cruelty alone. The polar bear sits at the top of the Arctic ecosystem. This presence controls seal populations. Seals regulate fish stocks. This chain forms the foundation of Arctic life. As the ice melts, on the edge of extinction, over the past 50 years, approximately 40% of Arctic sea ice has disappeared. The polar bear's habitat is shrinking. Hunting seasons are growing shorter. Starvation is increasing. Cubs are dying before they are even born. As human settlements expand northward, conflicts are increasing. Hungry bears approach villages, and these encounters often end in the bear's death. Scientists warn, if the current trend of global warming continues, most polar bears may vanish by the end of this century. The polar bear is not merely a species. It is the conscience of our planet. Its fate is the fate of the world. As the ice melts, we are losing a future.